Ladies and gentlemen, get up on your feet. Back by popular demand. Please welcome back to the Chippendale stage in nothing but a bow tie and a banana hammock. It is the return of Freak!
Oh my God. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Frost and Fist. I am still alive. The Freak is here. And I'm not dead yet. The COVID did not kill me. It tried. It was rough. But guys, I'm so glad to be back. Got a special, amazing guest, a good dear friend of ours with a Commodore. Hailing from high orbit. Most amazing Imperial Fist player ever. He even puts me to shame since I've been messing around with the Space Wolves. So, it is so good to be back. The Wolf Brother is driving home from work. He's working out of town. He was working out of town, and he is on his way back home to his family. Please, shower him with traveling mercies, because he had a pretty rough go of it while he was at work, while he was out of town, and hopefully things are going well. So, guys, we're just gonna do a simple Peyton chat. I'm just gonna hang out with y'all. I want to see how you're doing. We got a couple of topics that we're gonna run by y'all, see what your thoughts are, and you can have a good discussion. We can have a good time. Grab your paints, grab your your models, grab your dog. I don't know, whatever you want to do. And let's just have a good time, a good discussion, and we're gonna sit and chat, and we're gonna have to paint some. So, before we get started, what are you working on, man?
Right now, I am working on some Indominus stuff. I picked up to make my Indominus Blade Guard a little bit more special.
Awesome.
Imperial Fist shields from Forge World.
That's awesome. Dave Dodge says, "Holy cow, Freak, you're back." I am. Gamers with Coffee. Nice to see you alive. And I got coffee, baby. It's good to be alive. Ashley Finch says, "So glad you're back." Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It's so good to be back. Just to kind of give you guys a kind of heads up. And I try to put that out there on Instagram, but I look like, man, I look old. I look worn out. Too bad. I could not believe how bad I look. I got to get a haircut tomorrow. But anyway, so 3 weeks ago was my wife and I's 30th anniversary. And we decided, we're going to have a good time. And man, I went all out. I went and got these gorgeous flowers. I brought them to her work. Happy, right? And so, we got off early. We go home. And then my wife starts running a fever. On our 30th freaking anniversary. Running a dang fever. Like, okay, could you run a fever another time? It's our anniversary, right? Come on. So, finally, we figured that something's not right. Not feeling well. Maybe it's a flu or something, a bug that she picked up. The following day, the 3rd, I started feeling like crap. That was Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, we found out that her boss went and got tested. She tested positive. And she passed it on to my wife. Now, this lady was thinking that the whole time she's dealing with a UTI. How do you come up with a UTI compared to the COVID? I don't know what kind of UTIs women have, but damn, that's a hell of a UTI. So she wound up passing it to my wife. My wife wound up passing it to me. My wife gets over it in a couple of days. She's like, "Oh, I got a fever, 2-3 days. Okay, I'm good." Wait, are you kidding me? I feel like I'm dying. Had the shortness of breath, had the whole, the fever, the achiness. Dude, the body aches, that was so horrible. If you guys ever had shingles or had chicken pox and then had shingles, I've had that. I thought I was having it again. It's just how sensitive my skin was. And then, of course, the shortness of breath, dude, that was scary. So for the next 3 weeks, I had just tried to get as aggressive as I could to try to beat this thing because I didn't want to go to the hospital. I know the moment I go to the hospital, they're going to try to put a vent. I'd probably not get out of there. You know, I don't do good in hospitals. And so, you know, we did everything we could. My wife ordered me a, what do they call it, a nebulizer. You know, those of you who have asthma and all that, you kind of know what that is. Did some breathing treatments. I had to sleep on my stomach. I never slept on my stomach. Got a CPAP machine, so I'm used to sleeping on my back. But I did a lot of research that if you sleep on your back, the little air sacs in your lungs will start to close up, and the COVID will actually attack that. What it did do to me was that it dehydrated the living hell out of me. I was extremely dehydrated. We called an IV company. They call it an IV, a mobile infusion company. So they'll come out and, you know, they'll work with people who have got, like, you know, hangovers and things like that. Like if they're, you know, they had a bad food night, you know, or food poisoning, things like that. So what they'll do is they'll actually put an IV drip full of vitamins and electrolytes and everything, and try to get you rehydrated and get you back up and running. Well, they had a package like that for someone dealing with COVID. And the guy came in, dude, and 4 times blew out my veins, dude. That's how bad dehydrated I was. Every time I never had a problem with my veins. I used to get blood all the time. I've never had an issue. The moment that this guy would touch my veins, it would just blow. Like, oh God, this is bad. So finally, you know, he was able to get a small needle into one of my veins in my left hand and was able to bring the drip in. And guys, this is like a huge bag, you know, it's enormous. The big freaking bag, right? And it's got a bunch of electrolytes, got, you know, fluids, and he's just jacking it up with all kinds of vitamins. The cool thing about that whole deal is that when you take vitamins orally, only 10% get absorbed in the body. The rest get pissed away. When you're doing it by IV, it's just all in your body. It's in your bloodstream. It's ready to go. So your body can process it immediately. And oh man, I started feeling the difference right away. This was my last week of my fight, and so that was on like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I started going on a decline again. Could not get my fever. Something was fighting me, man. There's something, and even though I knew I was doing everything I could, Brother Atlas, the man, the myth, the freak. Glad you're feeling better, my brother. Same to you, my buddy. Even his wife are having an issue of it too. But yeah, so my wife decided, you know what? Let's take you to urgent care. What's the worst thing they can do, right? Let's see if maybe they can find out why you're still getting that fever. It's like your body's trying to fight something off. I go to the urgent care. They didn't even let me in the building. You know, I can understand. He comes out in the car. The guy was super freaking cool, so awesome, professional as hell, and basically said, "Okay, here's what we're gonna do. If something's trying to still trying to attack your body, so it could be an onset of pneumonia. Let's get that bacteria. Let's go ahead and get you some antibiotics. Get your steroid shot. Let's get you some zinc sulfate. Let's get you all this stuff." And you got to promise me that if your O2 oxygen saturation levels go below 92, you got to go to the emergency room. I said, all right, I promise. I've got the little meter, and I've been watching my O2 levels, and that's probably one of the biggest things that's helped me, to keep an eye on that, because I would take the breathing treatment that would actually help open my lungs up. So that noon was the last time I've had any fever. My fever broke right then and there. Didn't have a problem the entire weekend. I was fever free. I started breathing better. Monday morning, I was already at work, and oh dude, talk about low and slow. Oh my gosh, dude. Just walking from the parking lot to the front door of my job, you know, because I work at a hospital, and that was like, you know, freaking pioneers stuff. I felt like I was gonna die, dude. Like, oh, you know. Kaiju Shorts, hey freak, so glad you're here doing better. Thank you, man. I am Australian Jesus. It's good to be back, brother. And so, anyway, long and short, this week was a very good week. I took the initiative to even start taking the stairs, trying to, stay mobile, trying to move around, get more air in my lungs. My oxygen levels have been hovering between 93 and 96. Today was the first day this morning that I saw 99% O2 saturation. I was like, yes, great start to a great freaking weekend. Super, super excited. So I'm back on the mend, and I'm still trying to take care. I'm still on the recovery side, right? I don't want to overdo it. Tonight might be a short night. We might end it at 10:30, depending on how I'm feeling. Because I did, I worked all day, and it does take a lot out of you, but man, it's so super cool to be back on the show. I've missed you guys so bad. I've been telling Methos because we'll have conversations. He'll call me, see how I'm feeling. And I'll say, man, one thing, I miss the guys. I miss the chat. I miss the, I just, just did not have the energy to be able to jump on. So, what I'm working on tonight, and this is a really cool little project, right? So Methos has, he's doing his orc thing. He's just crushing orcs right now. I mean, he's just having an orgasm, I guess. Anyway, so he's killing the orc stuff, but he's trying to do a little project. He's trying to do something, and he asked me if I can look into it. So, okay, so I've got these saws. Let me see if you guys can see them. Let me make the light come up here. All right, these are little saws that I was able to print out. Okay, we don't want to focus there, freak. All right, what he wants to do, he wants to have those saws, if you imagine them, these hot spinning blades of fire, and that's kind of what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to see if I can figure a way to make this look like a spinning disc of fire, like this blade is just, on fire, and dude will cut through anything. That would be a cool little thing. So,
like a heat effect?
Huh? Yeah, and heat effect. Yeah. So basically, yeah, it's kind of like, a flame effect where this thing is spinning, and you can see the glow on the outer edge and the dead center. I don't know. I got to figure a way to make this look like, and not like a damn daisy. We don't want it to look like a damn daisy. Oh, look, it's a flower. So we're not trying to do that. And then if we have time, I'm going to work on this bad boy some more. He's coming out a little better than I expected. This is a fun model because I just love it because he's got so much detail. And this is turning out to be pretty cool. So we'll try to play with that a little bit later, hopefully. All right, let's catch up on the chat real quick. Flight of the Phoenix, we've missed you. Trust me, I have felt missed. I missed you guys so terribly bad. Shirt the Baggin says, is he hyped from the new orc teasers we got from GW? Because I was. There were a lot of them, weren't they? I think he's just one of those same people like me, he kind of waits to see how everything comes out. But yeah, Methos is really big right now on the orcs. He's loving his orcs, dude. He's just...
Yeah, those new releases look good. Yeah, I don't care what it
does. They really do. They really do. And I got a feeling, there'll be a discussion from next week when he's back on the channel. And we'll start talking about that. So it's pretty exciting. So... All right, so that's kind of what we got going on tonight. Gonna do a little paint chat. I've got a couple of pretty cool little topics that I want to run by you guys, see what your thoughts are. And it's actually an interesting topics because more and more people are getting into them. Like I said, this is 3D printed, by the way, and most of you already know, Big D, associated with this cat here with Commodore. Well, we're doing 3D printing now. A lot of people are doing 3D printing. So, I've got some questions I'm going to run y'all and just see what your thoughts Kaiju Short says, yeah, maybe try to spiral the effect, not super clean lines for motion blur kind of business. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Just kind of maybe a very vague spiral, nothing too tight, because if you do that, it's going to look like a damn pinwheel. T3, I'm going to butcher this. Baggins. I was getting Horizon Zero Dawn vibes from the Orc Beast Riders. That's awesome. That is so freaking awesome. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to frame it, but what I may do though, I'm gonna paint this black. I'll probably do black and then start working the color, the glow, and make it brighter and brighter in the edges instead of in the center, and kind of keep that kind of a little more smoldering. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. So, without further ado, do my coffee cup here, and let's get this airbrush mobile. So I hope you guys had an amazing week, man. What about you, Kami? What you been doing, man? What you been up to?
What I got for a poke chop?
Yeah.
I've been missing hearing those words coming from. What you got for a
what you
chop?
got for a poke chop?
I've been working on my Imperial Fist. I'm a son of Dorn to the day I die.
Yes, you are.
But I have to trade Papa Dorn a little bit. I've been getting a little into AOS, so I've been working on some Seraphon stuff. So that's been really fun to work on those guys. It's just that bright, vibrant colors that they got, because you got a lot of that jungle Aztec stuff. So there's like a lot of like gold, but then you have like the brightness of like jungle lizards and like poison frog kind of effects you got going on.
Yeah.
It gets you out of like that grim darkness of like metal and stuff.
Definitely.
But then I'm also like rebasing my entire army, which is just shows I'm insane.
Oh my god. What kind of theme are you going with?
For my bases?
Uh-huh.
Originally I went with kind of like a blown up grass battlefield kind of feel, and I liked it, but then I wasn't really feeling it, because you get like with all like these hero or leader units, they always have like a piece of like city terrain with them, so it's like they're just like carrying a piece of like mausoleum with them on the battlefield. It's like, all right, I'm gonna stand here. There's a wall from a manufacturing 6 miles that way.
Right.
I bought some bases. I printed a few, trying some new things out of more of like a rubble city kind of design.
Okay.
But not like all concrete, like kind of like some barricade, like dirt, blown up dirt, concrete, stuff like that.
Yeah. So you're kind of going more of the ruins, a little bit of the ruins bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Like here is a little bit on my librarian.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. What did I do with my paper towel? I think way over there. Oh my god. Oh, let's see here. All right, I haven't fired off this airbrush in a while. Dirt Baggins says, what about using hot glue to form the flames unless you're a whiz with green stuff? My brother, I am horrible with green stuff. You know what I can make with green stuff? I can make little balls. That's all I can do. I mean, I can use green stuff to try to I can use green stuff to try to clean up gaps. That's about it. I can't use green stuff to save my life. Like I said,
that hot glue gun effect. It's a good, like, if you want to be cost effective, you're not you don't want to spend a lot of money on like green stuff like that. It's a good cheap way to get some flame effects, work on that and such. And if you like what you can go to a craft store and get like 10 sticks of hot glue for what, $1?
Oh yeah, they were super cheap. I actually use the hot glue effect when I'm doing lava bases. That's my go-to. Because it actually flows and moves, pretty lava, right? So, and so I use that a lot, but I when it comes to like the edges, kind of what we're trying to go for. I don't know. Not quite sure how that's gonna play out, but we'll see.
Well, the funny thing was when I first got into the hobby, when I was like a broke 16-year-old kid, like I put the model and then like, oh, your glue is how much? Well, hot glue gun at home, so I like hot glue gun my models together. So yeah, let's go to battle. And then my guy's arm just like fell off. Like, guys, I gotta heat up the hot glue gun real quick. I'll be right back.
Yes. Yeah, dude, that's old school, man. That's just like, that's just falling on a budget, bro. You know. Catch up on the chat real quick. James Meeks, what up, guys? What's up, Meeks? It's so good to see you on here, man. Who took my dice? The freak is back, baby. Yes, sir, I am. Not at 100%, but hey, got me at some percent. Okay? So I'm here, and it's good to be back with you guys. Hanging out, chatting with y'all, catching up. Oh, God, don't spill all that. Making a mess. I always do. So I'm about to do a little priming. This thing. I'll prime it a little dark. See what we can here. I've been using hotness. Kaiju Shorts, how you been? I don't know if that's directed to me or for somebody in the group. I've been using hot glue for my icicles that I got on my sweat. Yes, you know what? That is a good point, Mr. Tobaggins. The hot glue is great for stuff like that, for icicles, man, and they come out really, really good. Super easy to do, by the way. It's such a cool effect, too. And not many people actually use it, don't utilize that. So,
really good to do if you want to do like a slime effect too.
Yeah, exactly. James Meek says, hot glue, laugh my ass off. Jail can be hard on you. What's it with you in jail? Why the hell would I have to be in jail? Why would I want to be sick in jail? What is you and my fantasies of being in jail? Is there some sick little fetish you got that, you see me in jail? Oh, dang it, James.
He wants to be your cellmate.
Right?
He can't be your soulmate.
Right? But I'll be your cellmate. Hi, you look good in your pants. No, no. James makes it. I've been better, mate. Things are looking up. How about yourself? Wouldn't use hot glue even for terrain. Dave Dodge would not use hot glue. Well, I don't know, man. I've used hot glue for terrain because, well, it's a great little trick. It's a great little, it's an easy thing to use, So, again, there's no right or wrong thing to use, guys. Whatever you use it for the hobby and you use it for the sake of, getting the project out, getting your thoughts in your mind, your ideas to come to fruition. So that's all that is. No big deal. James Speaks, big spoon here. All right, man, whatever you say. You can be the big spoon. You be the only spoon, because I ain't in jail. Have fun with that. So, anyway. So what are you guys in chat up to? What are y'all painting? What are y'all messing with? What have you guys have, what y'all got for a dang pork chop? I know we haven't talked in a while. We haven't really caught up. I've been missing you guys and trying not to die. What a concept, right? Try not to die, freak. So, what have you guys been up to? The bag says, so funny enough, I got back into Dawn of War and figured my color scheme for my Fenrisian Guard and Sister of the Fang armies. You know what? Dawn of War is such a great... If you're talking about the game, it's such a great... That right there got my interest in Warhammer. I don't know why. I never really knew the actual tabletop game at first. But the video game, Dawn of War, kind of got me... Actually, that's how I designed... That's how I figured out the army I wanted. because there's a army designer, right, on the color designer on Dawn of War, and I started setting it up, and Methos looked at it and goes, wow, that's actually the colors of the Imperial Fist. And I said, well, wow, I like that. I like those colors. I'm Imperial Fist. So that sold me. That sold me, man. I was sold. I was like, I love this. And then so I started reading up on the lore of the Imperial Fist, and the more I read about them, the more I'm like, wow, they're stoic. They're very, man, these guys are bruisers. They're badasses. These are the keepers of Terra. I mean, these guys are the ones that are, close to the palace and to the emperor. And this is, I thought it was a really neat, bio, and so I was sold, man. I was sold ever since. I love the Imperial Fist. Methos is trying to get me into one of the books. I'm trying to remember the name, but I gotta get it so I can. I want to say it's. No, I'm gonna butcher. I'm not gonna say anything because I'm an idiot. But it's. I want to say Sentinels of Terra, but no, I don't know. No, something. Dorn. Anyway. So let me catch up on the chat before I run my mouth into the ground here. Game with Coffee says, use hot glue gun to keep those Primaris interceptors on their stands. Oh God. Those, I actually tried to use the hot glue on those interceptors. We were just talking about that, weren't we?
Yep.
Commodore, about the stands that come with the flight stands that come with those damn intercessors.
Yep.
Yeah. And dude, horrible. They are the worst. Every one of mine that I have snapped, and a lot more and more people are resorting to kind of like what you're doing, Tom. And I'm actually going to look for them as well. Some printable base flight stands, because now they've come out with some really cool designs that look like a plume of smoke coming out from the back. That's cool. That's a dynamic, that's a dynamic pose instead of the little plastic, thing that's going to snap off on you at any moment, and you're like ready to cuss your brains out.
Here, I'll link the ones that I found.
Oh,
put it in the chat real
yeah,
quick.
definitely, man. Let's see what we got here. DMP, Miniatures Paintbrush Brother Rob. He says, hey, my brothers. Hey, man, glad you're able to make it. Planet Phoenix says, stripped all my sisters and reconfigured their new paint scheme. What's the paint scheme that you're going for there, Phoenix? Really curious to know. Actually, Finch says, I use hot glue to make one of my bloat drones to make it look like the gun is dripping slime. That is cool. That is freaking cool. Again, a lot of people use hot glue for so many different effects, ice effects, slime effects, you name it, super cool. Brother Rob says, I'm glad that you are feeling better, Freak. I am, my man, I am. Not 100%, but I am getting there, thank God, man. I'm plugging away one day at a time, and today was a good day. I was sharing with the guys that my O2 levels were I actually got it to 99% saturation today, this morning, and I was so happy. That made my morning. And I'm pacing myself. I'm not killing. I've been going to work every day, but I've been leaving early, just to make sure I don't overdo it. But I'm accomplished. I feel good, that I'm doing it. And I'm not going to try to kill myself, So tonight, like I said earlier, might be an early night. We'll probably kill it around 10:30, depending how things are going. If I'm feeling well, we might go through 11. Just bear with me, guys. But it's just so nice to be able to be with y'all tonight and hang out with y'all in the chat. I have missed this so terribly. Terribly. I mean, it's kind of like when you're away from your family for a while, right? And all you keep thinking of, it's like, how's the chat? How's the guys? And I'm always asking Methos, how the stream go? And I'll catch up. I'll jump on the chat every now and then and comment something. But it's, kind of half baked because I'm literally half baked. Running fever and just trying to breathe and all that crap. But It's just good to be back at some level of normalcy, right?
Well, I can say that, and you can see from obviously the chat that we're all happy that you're back too, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I really do. It was definitely a struggle, but hell, you know, what doesn't kill you make you stronger, baby.
That's true.
So we're back at it. We're having fun, you know, having a good time. Violet Phoenix says, was Cobalt Armor with white visors and black robes. Wasn't bad. I also needed to fix the fuzzy primer. LOL. Right on.
Yeah,
Right
she's
on.
changed to like a brass color scheme, brass and blue.
Yeah.
I've seen some of it. It looks awesome.
Nice. Super nice, man. That's so cool. So what else are you guys doing? What are y'all what are you painting? What you guys had any projects going on? You know, anything of interest? In the chat, you know, what are we collecting anything different? You guys got to talk to me because I've been out for 3 weeks. I have no clue what's been going on. I don't know if you guys are jumping to it.
Well, in the war terror exploded, the world is now divided into 4 sections. Orcs are now nothing but mushrooms.
Wow, that took a turn, didn't it?
Methos,
Escalated.
I need to get out of here.
Right? Methos, watch, Methos jump on the channel. No, wait, that's horse crap. Oh, God. Let's see how we can make this happen. This is going to be interesting. So I'm going to try a little dead white. See if I can do a light, I don't know. I'll have to be real careful on this. That's why I printed 3 of these and painted these, because in case one doesn't come out, I'll try again on a different one. This is going to be an interesting little project. So, well, I hope everybody's having a good evening and a wonderful weekend, guys. It's Friday. Ah, thank God. It's, you know, this week was long for me. Let's see what we got here. James Meeks, we had stuff fall out of the sky last night. I saw that. What the hell? It's the Falcon 9, right? I think the re-entry of all the crap that was all. It was just raining crap on you guys over there. I remember seeing the video. It was the Falcon 9 debris. Looked like an orc invasion. Yeah. TMP says, I have a very, very, very large apocalypse-sized towel project that I have challenged myself to paint up before the end of the summer. Rob, that's you, baby. You go big or you go big or you go home, right? That's you. I mean, sadly, it's towel. All right, then.
It is. It's been some good videos. Anybody who hasn't been watching TMP's videos on those towel coming out, you are missing out.
Hey, let me tell you something. Rob can kill some paint, bro.
Mm.
Rob will destroy some paint. And he does a beautiful job, man, from basing all the way to... to me, he's like a master painter. This guy is a badass as it is. But, man, look, that's what I'm working on now, too, Rob. You know, this guy right here. You know, I can't see it too well. The light sucks, but that's going to be part of my, you know, if I have time today, get on the project and that. But good on you, man. That's a big project by the end of the summer, huh? About how many points do you think? You said mega uber apocalyptic size towel project. So I imagine it's probably going to be like 4,000 points worth of towel. Kaiju Shorts Fantasy Era Dio as opposed to bow ties and lounge music. Okay. So the baggy says, I'm trying to kind of a custom Bane blade I've named Jutun Bane. And I'm trying to find kind of like a Viking shit parts to put on it. Dude, that is actually pretty cool. I've been into this one game. called Valheim video game. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, but I've not in the last couple of times that I've been sick, but yeah, I love that game. It's a Viking-based game, and it's just a cool concept. That's so neat, dude. Ashley Finch says, I'm getting the Death Guard Combat Patrol box finished. Congrats, dude. That's awesome. Death Guard, huh? You have to send us some pics. I'm really curious to see how they turn out on you. James Meek says, looked like it was all over my house. Choppers everywhere. Yeah, I bet, dude. That when I saw that video, that was just a ton of debris, and it all was flowing. You can see it. It was just going above, and everything was traveling at the same rate. It was pretty freaky. They said that a lot of people just kind of froze in place watching this crap like a damn apocalypse. So anyway, I'm glad it didn't fall on nobody's head. So.
Well, with the year we've had, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. So true. So true. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm see if I can do a little highlight on the outer blade, part of the blade, to try to make that, you know, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hot orange and I'm going to see if I can get it to, you know, get a nice glow to it. The trick though is keeping it from looking like a damn sundial, you know. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to look. I just don't want it to look like a freaking daisy or, you know, one of those pinwheels. If it looks like a pinwheel, I screwed up and I got to do it all over again. So, you know, I want the hot, very hot molten look at the edge of the blade, and I want a darker, kind of cooler center. And I'm gonna see if we can make that happen. That's what I'm trying to do here with this blade. Let's see what the chat says here. Thank you so much, Commodore and Freak. I don't own a Tau Codex, but I think it's sitting about, holy crap, 6,000 to 8,000 points. That is, oh, that's a lot of Tau. Oh, God. Oh, I think my heart just stopped. Dude, that's a huge project, man. I can't wait to see you complete that. That's going to be insane. Because I'm also working on my Storm Surge tonight, as well as LOL. I got the arms for that thing on Shapeways, so it doesn't look like a T-Rex. Good on you, man. Good on you, dude. Back it says, what you guys' opinion on GW and barely making enough product and acting shocked when it sells out? Because I was eyeing the Sisters box but missed it because of work. You know what, man? That is a very, very good question. And you know what? There's so many different opinions. We actually had a conversation not too long ago about that. You know, like, okay, this whole scarcity thing that GW's doing. They'll make a big hype about it, and next you know, lo and behold, there are none available. You know, and then people are like, what the hell? I just wanted to buy that, and now it's gone, and you know, I can't. So
the weird thing that also happened to me, last weekend I pre-ordered Piety and Pain last Saturday.
Right.
And I go to my local GW today to kind of pick up some stuff.
Right.
And I see Piety and Pain on the wall. I'm like, oh, cool, stuff's here. Is my order in? Oh, your pre-order hasn't been delivered yet. What do you mean my pre-order hasn't been delivered? You've got a box there. Can we just swap it out?
Right.
I think I have to wait till, because I finally get the UPS tracker. My UPS tracker, my package will come on Monday. The shop doesn't open until Wednesday.
Oh my God.
So that was fun. So it's like, you have this. You got my money at noon on Saturday because it sold out in like 15 minutes.
Right.
But,
well,
can't win them all.
But you know, that seems to be the common theme, and I don't know. Like we were talking with Big D about this a while back too, and I think even Rob, you know, how it almost seems like GW doesn't seem to be able to know which way they're going. But in retrospect, there are times that you can kind of see that they're trying to err on the side of caution, because a lot of times what will happen is they will wind up with boxes and boxes and boxes of product that they can't move, you know?
Well, it's also,
but
here's
now,
another way.
Yeah, go ahead.
That Piety and Pain box, just to kind of use that since that's the thing out in the, it was like 100, it's 170, 180 bucks.
Okay.
You add up the prices on the sister models alone, roughly, with the tank, the Retributor squad, and the character being 40 bucks. That's the price of the right there. Just those sisters of battle units right there.
Right.
So GW is going to make enough for it. Like, hey, we got stuff out here. We want you to come buy this.
Right.
We're not going to make enough to, because like GW's like, hey, we still want our cut too. We'll give you enough to wet your whistle, but you're going to come back and buy the actual box, not the deal box.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's one way to kind of look at it.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, I still, though, it's the sad part about it is that I think that the problem more so is the communication between them and the consumer. Mm-hmm. Because I think there's a whole disconnect. Before, remember back in 8th, right before 8th, you know, when they were revamping and you got the new guy out there was trying to do everything he could to, you know, reach out to the community and get the community more involved in that kind of stuff. It was such a big thing. It was a huge eye opener and refreshing to see that they were really, you know, involving the community in getting Warhammer back, mm-hmm. And it almost seemed to kind of stop. You know, that whole campaign, that whole idea of, you know, we hear what you want, we hear what you're saying, but we're not sure if we're going to deliver it now. You know, that seems to be the theme here. Mm-hmm. So let's see what we got here. James Meek says, but I can go to my local non-GW hobby shop and there will be 15 boxes on the shelf, and GW says that they can't get it because it's sold out. And Brother Rob says GW prices hikes are financing their animation projects. Good point. They are going into the animation project. You're absolutely right. They actually hired on those guys from the Astartes to actually do the work for their animation project, because apparently they can't do it themselves. And James Swink says that they're actually cheaper than GW. Yeah, you know, that's again, it's where the money goes, man, right? So that actually leads me and helps me to segue into my question that I have for you guys. Like I was talking earlier, I mentioned earlier about printing, 3D printing. These little bits are 3D printed, and more and more people are going to 3D printed pieces, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I can't tell you the reasoning for every person. Every person has their own motivation, reasoning as to why they're going 3D print. But what do you think? Do you think this is the result? Do you think 3D printing is more the result of GW prices skyrocketing and people are resolving to mitigate some of that cost? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts in the chat? You know, Tommy, what do you think? You know,
yes, it is people kind of kind of pushing back a little bit, but I mean, 3D printing has only risen in popularity. It's becoming easier and easier to do.
Right.
I know a lot of people who are 3D printing. Some are doing it to add bits and baubles back into their army to kind of give extra flair.
Right. I think that was the original design. That's how everybody started out. You know, they were like, "Hey, you know what? I like to spruce up my army. I want my stuff to look pretty shy. You know, pretty tacky."
Or something would break on a model, and he's like, "Well, I don't want to have to buy a whole new box." to replace one little power sword that broke on a guy when I can just print it off or something. Or it could be something like GW no longer makes this model, or whatever company you're looking at, like, hey, this model's out of production.
Right.
They don't want to make it anymore. Somebody has an STL file online that I can download, or, you know, that looks basically similar, you know, within copyright infringement, you know, grays. And then I've known people who have printed entire 40K armies.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to test something out, and they don't feel like, hey, I'm not going to spend a minimum of, you know, do a 2K army. I don't want to spend $300 to $500 on an army that, oh, this is nothing how I thought it was going to work, kind of a thing.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. People are trying to test the water to see if even something that they want to do. I think that's a great idea, and it doesn't really say that it's going to be fully, you know, taking over the entire, you know, their entire GW army. I mean, it's like, okay, you know what? I want to see if this is something I want to play, and then if I'm interested, I'll go and buy the models. You know, that's a legitimate thing, and there's some people that do that. But you know, let me show you something. Okay, this guy here, this is all 3D printed. Okay, and I was thinking to myself, you know, why not? I don't have the extra cash to go and buy, you know, $50 worth of one squad of Outriders, and you know, when I have a printer that I can pretty much get that done, and then have them come out just as good. You know, I'm not planning to build my entire army like that, but you know, during times when, you know, funds are kind of low, because hey, I'm like you guys already said in the chat, GW stuff ain't cheap.
That is true.
So, you know, the alternatives are there, and since we have that, you know, what are you gonna do? So, it's I think it's a good option, but I know that there are purists, and there are people out there that swear up and down, well, you're the reason why you're the reason why GW prices are going up. You're the reason. I was like, well, I'm not sure if I agree with that. What do you think?
I mean, if you're willing to the 3D print an entire army, was GW ever really going to get your money in the first place?
Yeah.
So now, if I'm go to my GW store, my local hobby store,
right,
and I'm looking stuff on the wall, and I'm like taking notes on it, and you know, comparing prices and going like, well, I can buy this, or I can print this off for this much, and doing that, and then 2 weeks later, I come back to the store with this fully printed army.
Yeah,
that's kind of a dick move.
Yeah, I agree to that. No, I totally agree with that. Brother Rob says, I'm feeling that too, Freak. It seems like GW has indeed stopped caring a little bit. I really just need to get back into the... Before, we used to hear a lot from the CEO from the company. We used to hear a lot from the heads of Games Workshop. We used to they would go in there and tell us all kinds of stuff, what ideas and how they were really involved with the community, and all of a sudden that kind of stopped. And like Rob said, you know, they're moving more towards a different venue, some other way that they can actually create income. There's nothing wrong with that. When they're in the business of being a business, I understand and I respect that. But if you're going to be in the business of making miniatures that involve consumers, and consumers are going to want your product, you're going to have to actually reach out to your damn consumers and make sure that they're excited about what you're giving, and you're going to be reasonable price-wise, as well as the ability to be able to get those items without selling out all the time. So the thought. The bag, it says, I'm okay with bits and pieces 3D printed, but like a whole model and army, I don't know. That seems like a lot of work. At least I still fairly new. That's fair, man. A lot of people. I'm the same way. I'm not gonna print my whole damn army. That's not gonna happen. You know, I'm gonna shell out some cash and I'm gonna get the things that I want. But the things that I don't have, that I feel like, you know what, if I can print it, and if it's small enough, I'll do it on here, and I'll print it and I'll paint it. Really simple, you know. Like here's a piece that I was able to print. I still have to, you know, piece it together and paint it, but it's a good sculpt, you know. So again, just depends on what you're gonna do with it. See what else here. So the Meek says, I don't like to use 3D printed models for gameplay because I like to play at the GW stores, and they're not letting us play there anymore. So why not? Well, there you go. There you go. You know, a lot of GW stores are kind of, I don't know, they're regressing. They're I don't know. They're getting away from the consumer. It seems like they're kind of slowly backing away from everything they've ever tried to do. That's a sad thing. It seems like it's more of the non-GW stores, you know, the aftermarket stores that are actually having more fun and more people are going into that. So, Brother Rob says, I think it's a perfect storm. The environment is right. Why for Forge World prices for cheap resin when you can print a version of that model at high quality? Why pay? Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, I totally get it, and I think that is where more and more people are going with Brother Rob, is that more people are seeing and they're estimating the cost of, because you know when you get a Forge World piece, it's just resin and it's going to warp and it's just not going to. We all know Forge World.
I've seen a 3D printed Warhound Titan. Could not tell the difference. I mean, you would have to look very close to tell the difference on this thing. Now, is it a difficult print for what the person told me? Yeah, there's some prints where you gotta play around a little bit, and there's some long prints where you're doing 3 prints that are over 24 hours for parts, but the total cost, I mean, he was basically set it, went to work, came back, piece was done. Total cost $30 in resin, I think, maybe 50.
Yeah.
Versus paying like what, 500 to a grand at Forge World.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's where the disconnect is, man. I really do, because it's pushing people more and more to find alternatives. You know, and that's what's happening. They're trying to find these alternatives to be able to get these really cool models without the ridiculous price and the poor quality. Because Forge World is not considered probably the best quality of models. They look great. I think they look amazing. You know, they're very special, but that doesn't translate to quality. That doesn't translate to, you know, especially getting a model that has a sword or some kind of spear, and then you get it and it's broken, it's bent, you know, and it's, why does this have a 90-degree angle? I thought it was a spear. It's a sad state, I think, and again, I think that's what started the war. And I'm saying a war because I believe that that's what's happened, is that it's been, the consumer is getting tired. The consumer is just saying, you know what? I know what I want, and I can get that with a simple box that will just pull it out of my resin. You know, it's I don't know. I mean,
and the only thing is, like when 3D printers first came out, expensive, and you weren't getting. You could obviously tell a difference. Regular model and a 3D printed model. Now they're cheaper. They're usually always on sale. You can get a decent kind of intro printer. Like what? $200? Less than $200?
Yeah. I got mine for $199. I love mine.
I mean, that's basically the start to an army. Like,
what's
because the new combat patrol boxes are like what, $140?
Right.
Somewhere around there. A bottle of resin, like 500 milliliters, is like $20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it depends on the type of resin, because now they have the water washable resin that's a little more expensive, but it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have to worry about dipping in isopropyl alcohol the whole damn time. So, yeah, no, these are all good points, man. Let's see what we got here. Brother Rob says, ever since Duncan Rhodes left it, it started to roll downhill. You know what? I'm seeing a lot of that, and not just in GW. I'm seeing that in corporate America, Rob. More and more people are running, or more of these businesses are running off good quality people, and they're doing more with less. I was having a conversation with Methos about that earlier today, because I saw it I've been seeing a lot at my job. It doesn't affect me in IT because we're a totally different department, but we're seeing more and more good people being run away or run off, because they're getting too much being put on their plates. There's too much. And I'm segueing. I'm sorry. This is a little off the rail here, guys. But they're putting a lot of responsibility on these folks, you know, that they never really asked for. But because the previous people are no longer there, and they're being asked to kind of cover for them, to kind of take over, it's burning them out. And so these people are leaving, you know, and they're like, no, don't go. We'll throw money at you. Well, you know, it's not always about the money. It's not always. It's about, you know, work-life balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're seeing that. We're seeing that right now. So, I don't know how this is coming out. I'll have to show it to you guys and see what y'all think. Well, let's see here. Duncan was the face of the friendly GW. Print me up a supremacy army. LOL. You know what? That's right. He was kind of like, you know, when you see Duncan, you felt like, oh, this is like Bob Ross, you know? He was like the Bob Ross of GW. He was, when you saw him, you're like, hey, what is he going to say today? You know? Got excited. You're like, something's going to go down. He's going to pay something cool. And you know how he's got the little goofy, nerdy smirk, you know? We're going to type something really. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. Game with Coffee says, your sculpt looks like it came out nice. Yeah, they come out really good. These are great sculpts, man. So Baggins says, I think it's also super annoying with us in the US being left out of the subscription services that they've been starting and unable to get those great exclusives. But then, you know, they destroy the stuff that didn't sell instead. They had a huge market overseas waiting. Yeah, again, I'm hearing a lot of that. A lot of people are here, especially in the United States, dude. We don't get to see some of that stuff. You know, hell, even in Australia, they don't see some of that stuff, and the cost of shipping is just ridiculous. Ashley Finn says, "Have a good night, guys. Need to get some sleep." Ashley, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you coming and hang out with us. You have a good night too. Gamers with Coffee says, "Glad you're back, Freak. Got to log off work super early. Good show. Good night, everyone. Man, thanks for hanging out, guys. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the warm wishes and well wishes, guys. I'm glad to be back. Super happy. Rob says, if my spear had a 90% angle, I'd call it magic. Me too, man. Me too. Tommy, I lost you. Lost the Commodore. Where'd you go, baby?
I'm back.
There he is. Dave Dodge says, is Methos coming on after he gets back from work? No, Methos is, he's traveling. He's got a little roadway, a little traveling. He had a long week, and he needs to spend some time with his family and try to decompress because he's got to go back to, he's got to actually take a trip back down to Corpus Christi. And he needs to be bright-eyed, bushy-tailed for that because he's, you know, his grandmother, so taking care of her. And, you know, just taking a much big...
Freak, I'm just going to fix something on my end real quick.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, man. You're all good. So, yeah, so he's not going to be joining us tonight. TMP says, darn you, Forge World. You bent my spear. You bastards! But Phoenix says, it's why I left retail. Yeah, you know what? You know what, Phoenix, it's not just in retail. It seems like more and more corporate America is moving towards the more with the less. And it's becoming unfettered. Not going to get into it too much because it kind of moves into a little more political stand, but you know, I have no issue with business. I have no issue with business creates jobs. That's just the way it is. But the problem when it becomes unfettered or when it becomes unmitigated or checked, you know, that's when the little guy gets hurt. That's when the people that are trying to get jobs or have these jobs, they're the ones that are being affected. It's always the lowest guy on a totem pole. Again, I don't want to get into political but that's my thought here. Dave Dodge says many businesses don't like what they see as peons asking for more. The jobs I worked there was absolutely no room for promotion. I decided to go freelance for double the money. Good point, Dave. One of the things is that, you know, if you don't like where you are, you're not a hostage. You have the opportunity, the ability to move, go where you want. You can go back to school. I actually had to do that. I was in the field industry for several years, 13 years. And then finally, I had enough because the field industry, the field service industry got so super saturated with people that are coming off of the oil fields here in Texas that they were paying pennies on a dollar, man. For something I had tons of experience, electrical, mechanical, electronic, and there's like, yeah, you know what, we'll just offer you $15 an hour. It's like, are you kidding me? I've got 12 plus years of experience in the field, and you're gonna offer that to me? And they're like, yeah, well, because you don't want it, we'll offer it to the next guy. You know, and that's basically what it boils down to. It's just the market got saturated with people that are trying to compete with these jobs, and so that's when I personally decided, you know what, I'm just going to say screw it. That rag, that's nasty. I said screw it, you know, I'm just going to put myself back to school, get my certifications, you know, because I've done IT work. It's just I've never done it professionally. And I figured, you know what, why not? I love what I do. I love IT work. I love computer stuff, and so why not just go ahead and get my certifications and see how that turns out? And it's done well for me.
So you really were stripping to pay for school.
Pretty much, baby. Pretty much. Yep, pretty much. It was like, all right. Put on my my bow tie and put on my my hockey mask because they throw rolls of quarters at you, try to get you off the stage, and I'm like, hell no, we won't go. And so, but yeah, it took a minute, and finally that's when I finally changed the industries completely. I got out of the field service industry and I got went back into didn't go back, but got into the IT industry. All right, let's catch up on the El Chato. Where are we here? Dave Dodge, yeah, we said that. Flight of the Phoenix says after almost 20 years, that's a long time to have to deal with that crap, honestly. Dave Dodge says Duncan Rhodes worked his ass off. Yes, he did. He was Rob is right. To many, he is the face of GW. Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes to to models, the painting. He is the Bob Ross, right? At Nova, before he left, he went the extra mile. He asked for more money and was more or less denied, so he quit. Pretty much it, man. When you have the talent, when you've got the ability to carry a company or a business with your talent, you have the right to ask for that cash. You don't believe me? Look at all the ridiculously insane basketball and football players. Huh? We're paying these cats billions of dollars. For what? To play a game. For what? For entertainment. For what? to keep us entertained. So there's a value there, and they believe that they carry that value, and they believe that they can ask for that. Oh, Duncan, I believe he had it too. You know, they just didn't want to pony up the Benjamins. So,
Well, look, their whole marketing campaign for the contrast paints was built on his little meme of two thin coats. What was the tagline for contrast? One thick coat.
Exactly. Totally contrary to what he actually brought on, right? Because he had the science down, and they went ahead and they just, you know what? We think this is better, and I'm not gonna lie. I personally think those contract paints are crap. That's just me. And by God, guys, please listen to me. My thoughts are not absolute. I don't believe that everything I say is an absolute. This is just my opinions, because I have seen. Okay, let me retract that. Let me retract the statement. I have seen some contract paints that I think look really cool, but there are some are just absolute garbage, and I think I don't think that was the best way to go when it comes to GW. I'm not sure that was probably the right way. It was a huge hype. It was huge. I mean, and I saw some really cool things with some of the type of contrast paints, but there were others that were just didn't work. Flat surfaces? No, you can't use contrast on flat surfaces. You know, on very good rigid, very detailed. Yeah, slap that sucker on there and go on. But when you look at it closely, it still looks half-baked, doesn't it?
You have to add on to it. Like, here's something. That's mostly green contrast with some green dry brushing on it.
Yeah. But see, you did a combination, and that's what a lot of people were doing. You know what you're doing? You're using a new style, but you're still applying the old style. So why use the new style? You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like... And again, there's no right or wrong, guys. It's just talk. Dave Dodge says, Freak, just out of interest in the oil field industry due to them lowering wages. Were there any major accidents due to lower quality staff during the job? So I was never in the oil field industry. I was in the field industry, the electrical mechanical field service industry. So no, we never had that problem. And the thing is, there are extremely way too many industry standards when it comes to safety, especially when it comes to ExxonMobil, Shell, all these. They do not play with that because they have gotten fined so terribly. If there's one thing that an oil company is scared to death of, are fines. You gotta understand, they're in the business of making money, guys. They go drilling, they go looking, they do a lot of refinery, especially here in Texas and South Texas, especially around the Houston area, lower half. So that's their bread and butter. But if you have a spill, you have something that leaks, dude, the EPA is on them like white on rice, and that is where they lose money. Because when they shut that plant down, everything gets shut down. It's not just oil, it's not just gas, it's plastics, it's chemicals, it's all sorts of things that come out of all that type of refining. So that's never been a problem. The problem is that when they start retooling, or when they start to shut down the refineries because they're, whatever might be the issue, it could be some more imposed higher taxes, rates, or whatever, I don't know. But these guys that are out in the oil field, they'll start looking for jobs elsewhere, and that's what they're doing. They've got a electrical, oil field background, and so they're flooding the jobs out on the field, the service, like something simple like ATM companies, ATM repair companies, the baggage system at the airport, things like that. They get saturated, and so now these companies, these other businesses, are only paying pennies on the dollar because the market is so full of people that they're willing to take a buck. You know what I mean? So, hope that clarifies that. Miniature Paintbrush says, I attend the Nova Open. I'm sad that it's canceled again this year. Oh wow, I did not realize it canceled this year. Dave Dodge says, at the TMP, no, but I watched videos with Duncan at the Nova and he looked tired and showed him working during his breaks to take fans aside to show them how to improve their painting. That's commitment, man. That really is commitment, honestly. That's when you know he loves what he does, dude. Rob says airbrush contrast works wonders for smooth transitions. I have seen some of that. I haven't really quite been sold on it because I haven't really got to, really pay attention and bear down on what they're doing and how they're doing it, Rob. But I'm curious to see. Doesn't D use contrast in his airbrush? I don't remember if he did or not, Kami.
Not that I can think off the top of my head.
Yeah. There's somebody I knew that was doing that, and they were getting a pretty good effect, and I don't remember who it was. And I meant to kind of pull on them a little bit. I just don't remember who it was, and then it looked pretty good. So I think the contrast paints probably work a little differently and probably better coming from the airbrush than the actual bot from bottle. Okay, guys. So here's what I've got so far. You tell me what you think. I think I could probably go a little lighter on the edge. So let's see what you think here. What are your thoughts on that? I would probably go a little more orangey, huh?
Wait until it comes up.
Yeah.
Well, it's looking good. It's looking good so far.
I'm thinking, let me take the light down a little bit. So maybe this will be, I think I gotta, let me hit it with a little more hot orange. Maybe,
Methos
darken
uses contrast through the airbrush.
What's that?
Methos uses contrast through the airbrush.
Oh, that's who it was. Hey, brother Methos. My brother from another freaking mother. Man, I hope you made it home okay. I hope you're good, man. So good to see you on the chat, my bro. My brother had me worried this week. James Meek says he uses contrast as a filter with the airbrush. My white scars are all shaded with contrast through the airbrush. That's cool. That is absolutely awesome, man. Hey there, fam. He says, Methos, it's so nice to have you on, brother. So this is what I've got so far, Methos. I'm working on it, bro. So we'll see how this turns out. If I can get the darn thing to kind of stop being stupid, get some light on there. So it needs a little more. So let's work on it some. Oh, go straight with the hot orange. I'm thinking maybe doing a couple of little dips of red, maybe. This is a very translucent paint that I'm using, Vallejo Hot Orange. So it works out really well for this kind of stuff. It's what my go-to for my lava. I can make lava bases. It's a running joke with Methos. Methos can do water bases and ice bases. I can do lava. What can you do, freak? I can do lava. That's it.
Hey, freak, can you paint me up this cool, circular saw look it's on fire?
I can do lava. I can do lava.
No, I want the metal to look like it's hot.
Yeah, no, lava. Yeah, that's a little better. I like the dark. Oh yeah, this I think is turning out a little better. So I'm gonna probably darken it a little bit with a little darker in the center. Let's see here. Methos, who's your source on that though? He says, TMP says Vince Venturella uses contrast through an airbrush. That's cool. But then again, Vince probably can use mud through an airbrush and it comes out amazing. Rob says my typos have been tragic. It's okay. We still love you, Rob. Rob says, I lava your work, freak. Oh, dad jokes. Oh my god. Lava's hot too. It'll be fine. I can do lava. Oh my god. I could do lava. What's lava? I lava the lava. God. Oh yeah, don't get him started. Methos loves dad jokes, Rob. Don't do that. Get him all probably repeating it in front of his family. Lily's probably rolling her eyes right now. Like, oh. She hears a bad dad joke. She goes, boo. So good. So guys, if you don't know what's going on, you're just joining on. First of all, I want to welcome you to the show. Thanks for coming and hang out with me. I've been out because of the COVID. Screw that damn thing. That thing almost killed me. But glad to be back. And I'm super, super happy to be back, actually. We're stoked. Drinking my water. By the way, my taste is so screwed up. This water tastes like sugar water. Every time I drink water, it tastes like damn sugar water. I don't know why. But you know what? It helps me to drink it. It's sweet. Go figure. So, COVID almost killed me. Was dealing with it for about 3 weeks. But I am back in the saddle and getting stronger, getting better, feeling better, not looking better. I look old and tragic. But at least I do feel better than I was even a week ago, even 5 days ago.
Old and tragic, so what changed?
Not a damn thing, man. Not a freaking thing. Thanks, man. Thanks for keeping me humble, bro. Misa says, well, TMP says, Dave Dawson, remember, folks, with the Vortex, you don't have to shake your balls no more. That's so true. So true. You got the Vortex mixer. Brother Rob says, I'm a dad and I have the jokes. Yes, sir. Misa says, okay, fam, just wanted to say hi. I'm off to a late dinner with the fam. Then it's time to pack again. My brother, have a good night. I'm so glad you made it home. So glad you're home safe. Say hi to the family. Give them big hugs and kisses from me, man. Uncle Al says hi. Marcos Castellanos, heading into work, just popping in to say hello. Welcome. Hello, Marcos. Thank you for coming by, my man. And Kaiju Short says COVID completed. Yes. It's done. Australian Jesus, I am over that crap, dude. I'm so freaking over it. Kaiju says, Methos, Kushana, see you next time. Brother Rob says, peace out, Methos. Much love. Much love indeed. Yeah, no, that, you know what's crazy about that COVID crap, guys, is that I could not believe how much energy, how much, everything's okay? You good, man? I don't know what the hell that was. You know, how much it just took a toll on my body, how much it actually took away from me, from being dehydrated to just, I felt like I was completely desiccated, you know? That was not just I've had the flu, I've had chicken pox, I've had, you name it, dude. I've had some crazy stuff, but never did I feel so damn run down like I did with that freaking, with that illness. So, it's no joke, man, you know? So, all right. I don't know. I think it's slowly turning into a damn daisy. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me see if I can put my hand in front of it so I don't look like a retard. Let's see. Focus, stupid. Okay. There we go. Give me get a little light. That's not bad. That doesn't look too bad.
It's getting there. It's looking good.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna try to blow a little red towards the center. And that's probably a good idea. Just kind of get a little change there.
I think if you blow some white up the tips of it,
Yeah.
it'll be hot.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that again because I was gonna do that. Yeah, see, Rob heard the same thing I heard. It was like a wobble fart, you know, like wham. Rob doesn't miss it, dude. Rob heard the same thing I did. I don't know what the hell that was. It's okay. We're good. I'm on call tonight too, by the way. Let's see. What the heck? What kind of... A patient in room 211 would like a personal DVD player hooked up in his room. So the hell what? What? Have fun with that. God, these people. These people are
really good.
That's seriously, it's a ticket that came through. Like, we want to have a personal DVD player hooked up in the room. You don't do that. Good luck with that.
Just send it back. Just send it back a message. So hook it up.
Hook it up. It's not, yeah. It's great. DVD player is on patient's bed table. All right. Have fun with that. You don't hook that up. You're out of your freaking mind. That's somebody else. That's their personal property, and we're going to... No. Out of your nuts. I'm telling you, the IT life. So crazy. Let me try... Let's see, what is the most translucent red I might have? I hate to say that probably the secret weapon. I'm gonna try this to see if this might work. Secret weapon. This is the ones that we used when you were doing the what do you call it? The heat bloom. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's Methos use these religiously. I'll use like one or two of them. Just depends on it, and they actually work really well. Just depends on how you use them. Methos likes more like the cartoony look. I kind of like the realistic heat bloom. But again, it just depends on the model. So. Let's try this red. This red's pretty. It's supposed to be pretty translucent, so we're gonna thin it down some more because this stuff's gonna be kind of thick. I think I still have some black in here. Clear that out. Let's see what else we got on chat here.
You're really focused on figuring out what that sound was.
So much stuff on that duck. I'm telling you, I heard that. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Went whack. Like, what the hell? Brother Rob says, I love that color palette. Stop hoarding wombats over there. Yes. Yes. Head to the wombats. Oh, God. Oh, I missed this. That's so bad, dude. What happens, man, when you're sick and you miss all this craziness? Yeah. And you know what's crazy? This is normal. This is standard Frost and Fist material here, right? Everybody's as crazy as we are. WYSIWYG, baby. What you see is what you get. Well. I thought it was a folding chair being pulled forward or something. It might have been. It could be. You know, guys, when first sound I hear, that's a fart. No, that was a chair. No. Somebody broke wind. No, I physically moved this metal chair across the chair. No. You just defecated. You just defecated all over the place. So no.
Turn around. Let me check your pants.
Right? Turn around. Did you drink my Mountain Dew? Did you drink my Mountain Dew? Let me smell your breath. Let me smell your breath. Oh, God. You guys are funny, man. So this is actually turning to be more of a project than I thought. This thing is interesting. I didn't think it was gonna kick my butt like it did, and Methos told me he tried messing with it and he got frustrated. So let's see if it'll turn me down too. I don't know why my light keeps dimming. Don't stop dimming. I want you brighter. Should have used my my light ring. What's left of it. I think this is a bad idea. This color is more like a pink than a red. Well, let's see. Yeah. I've had worse. See what happens here. Oh, that's not too bad. Nah, that's turning pink. God dang it. Just get a slight little... Yeah, that actually is not too bad. Oh, alright. Let's kind of give it a nice little dull purplish hue, I guess. Reddish hue.
Okay.
So that's actually not too bad. I can live with that. And I'm going to do like what you said, kind of go over it with the white at the very edges.
Mm-hmm.
And see if I can brighten that up a little bit. But this, it's not too bad. Huh. That's impressive, actually. Let me see if I can do a tabletop down look here. You guys can see it a little better instead of... Let's see. Come over here. Drop. Boom. Let's see here. Right there. And this is a piece that I'm working on right here. So, get over there. Get in the camera shot, you dope. Oh my God, you tarted out. So what do you think? Lighten out the edges, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of get those edges kind of hot, fiery hot, and maybe get them a little bit on the inside. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely go white on the edges if you want to get like that high heat.
Yeah, that molten look on the edges. Yeah, if I could get in the camera shot, get in there. Thank you. Let's get in there. What do you guys think of the chat? Is it slowly looking like some kind of heat effect on there? What? Think this will like that? He wants to put this on his orc. Yep. More contrast, almost to white. Yep. Okay. Good point, guys. All right. Let's get this emptied out. Look at that. That's so pink. That's kind of what I blasted on it. And it looks good, actually. All right. Always cleaning my airbrush. Always cleaning it. I fuss at Methos all the time. Say, make sure you clean your airbrush, dude. Every time. No matter what. Clean your airbrush. Every time you change your paint, clean your airbrush. Yep, more contrast getting there, brother. Looks good. Thank you. God, you short says, yeah, I feel like you could almost whiten the edges on the forward spinning edge. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. So we'll see. Let's see if we can do this here. I'm going to do it while on camera, too. So let's see how this works out. So a little bit of dead white I'm using. 4 drops in that bad boy. Have to thin it down just a little bit with water. 1, 2 drops. All right. A little mixing, mix. That out really good. I gotta make sure it's not too spotty, because then it'll start to. I don't like spots on my. See? Yeah, I think it's okay. All right. All right, let's see. A little bit around the edges, yeah? Ah, bloody hell. Story of my life. Freaking Tourette's during the damn paint. I don't know why that happened. Alright, let's try this again here. Yeah, I probably got a little too thin. Yeah, you know what? I think it's time that I need to change this damn needle. I'm pretty sure this needle's pretty worn out. I think this is a 3, but I've had it for some time, and I'm pretty sure it's on its just last leg. Yeah, I think it's just too broad. I've cleaned it. I've had it for a while now. You guys are wondering what I'm using. I'm using the Iwata Nest Iwata Revolution. Great airbrush. It's my go-to. Okay. See if we can. Okay. Let's dump that extra white into the bottom, the paint bucket. Let's see. Then we'll try to blow a little bit of hot orange just to kind of get the orangey fire flame effect back, so it's not too bright. See how this works out, guys. All right, let's see if I can. All right, here we go.
Freak, I'll be right back.
Go for it, bud. No worries. I'll be here for you. Yeah, this is actually looking a little better, guys. What do you think? Looks like it's kind of getting that effect I'm looking for. I'm jealous of your accuracy and control with that. Now, I don't know about all that, dude. I've got a lot of overspray, so no worries. Third Bang says, gotta go. I gotta open tomorrow, but it was cool catching you live. Man, thanks for coming and hang out with us, man. It was so neat. Thank you so much. Let me see if you can see my face, so you don't have to stay still. This is the white undershading made the orange pop. Yeah, it did. It undershading. Yeah, it actually did. Let me go back down, table down here. Let's see if you guys can see it a little good here. Yeah, this actually seems to turn out a little better than I expected here. I like that. I don't want it to look like a darn sunflower. But I think that got the effect that I was looking for.
It's looking good.
Yeah, I think that got the effect that I was looking for. And it doesn't look like a sunflower. At least I'm trying to look like a damn sunflower. So, but I come on, for crying out loud, just where is my, okay. Yeah. Focus! Ah! See, maybe. There we go. Contrast. Ah, that's better. See a little better there. So yeah, I think that might do it, guys. I think that might be it. I like that. All right. I'll have to send a picture of that to Methos to see if he likes that. See if he thinks that will work out for him. Like I said, it's just a little project for him. Oh. How's your deal going on, man? What you got going on?
I'm actually, so that 3D printer, the file that I was downloading finally came through. I'm checking it out right now for these.
You said it was a big file.
It took a while. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's like 3 different versions.
Oof.
What? But they also gave me a solid version, a hollow version.
Oh. Are they supported or not?
I'm playing around with it. Give me a second. Actually, no, they gave me 4 versions. Okay, 5.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
To know they give you some kind of, they give you variants, right? So they got some.
And it came right up into my Photon workshop that I use.
Okay.
Let me play around. I don't know if it's fully supported, but let's see.
I think that's the same one that Meeks has, is the Photon. Let me plug in my phone. It's about to friggin' die. Ugh.
Yeah, it's not fully supported, but I mean,
Yeah, but you know what?
it's
Shouldn't be
nothing that's
hard.
going to be too hard at all.
Yeah, it should be that hard. Come on. Plug in. There we go. Phone was about to die there. That would have been a no bueno. Oh, goodness. But yeah, that actually worked out pretty good. That wasn't too bad. Show him this. Send him a pics and see what he thinks of that. So, in retrospect, all I really did was I based it. I primed and I based it with a dark gray, smoke gray, or black. Okay, kind of like this. This is how I started out. Okay. And then I started layering the white around the outer edges. And then I went with the hot orange. Again, this is the Vallejo hot orange that I use for everything fire effect for me. Hot orange. And then because there are some other elements on here like red, I needed to find a translucent paint. So I used the Secret Weapon Unification blooms to try to get that. And this actually is a pretty decent, it's pretty translucent for the most part. And I was able to get a little bit of that on the inside of the blade. That gives more of a dark reddish tone without taking away the orange.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you guys said, yeah, highlight, go back with the white and highlight the edges, give that bright molten look on the blade itself, the actual each blade, that did it. I think that made it pop. That got it where it needed to be. So yeah, I think that did it, man. I appreciate your guys' help. That actually, I think, really stepped that up. That looks really good, actually. Cool. Super stoked. That's really neat. I'm gonna have to share that with him. Hopefully he can reproduce that. What's gonna happen? He's gonna wind up coming over here, and I'll wind up doing it for him. So. And then once he sees me doing it, he's like, "Look what I did, freak! I did 40 of them." I'm like, "Oh, I hate you." Does that all the time.
Let me smack you.
I mean, he did that with the canopy. You know, I showed him how to actually, I did the canopy for him on the what do you call it? The reflection on the canopies for his stuff. And so he goes, "No, I want you to do it. I want you to do a tutorial. I want you to show me how to do it." Okay. Next thing you know, he's doing it, and he's crushing it, and it looks amazing. But, oh, why? Why do you do this to me? So, anyway. Let me see if I can get my phone to reach. I need to catch up with the chat. Everybody's starting to wind down anyway. Undershading. Yep. I know it's a little low tonight, guys, and again, I'm so sorry that the Wolf Brother's not here tonight. He is actually enjoying some time with his family. He has had a long trip. You know, he's been out of town, out in Louisiana. We live here in the lovely state of Texas. And he had a rough time of it. So he needs a much-deserved, time with his fam. And like I said, I appreciate you guys just coming to hang out with us for a little bit while we did a little paint and chat and talk about certain things. Again, the whole topic was mainly supposed to be about, printed models, 3D printed. Like, here's another bad boy that I did. This one, again, was 3D printed, and I like how he turned out. I mean, this looks, besides a little Marley hair, get out of here. It's how it turns out. And when you stand it next to the original thing, you can hardly tell the difference, But
and I mean, it's pretty case stuff. Like, here's something I kind of print. It's a dragon paladin. Yeah. So it'll have like giant wings and a sword.
Yeah.
And face. So yeah, there's some clear. If you are really thinking about on the fence of 3D printing, and you got the cash to burn, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I'd say give it a shot, or find somebody in your area that your group or your hobby that has one. Ask them questions. I mean, if you can, I'm not very tech literate or tech savvy, surprisingly, but like I picked this up pretty quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point, because there's a lot of people out there who are already really heavy into that. It's part of the hobby, right? Because you're manufacturing, you're printing neat little 3D models, and quality is amazing, and so it's part of the hobby. I'm curious to see, if you see somebody, somebody that's doing it, ask questions, and Meek's actually doing a really good job with that. He's trying it out. He just got his stuff, and sometime this week I'm gonna try to get with him and see if we can compare notes. Matter of fact, Kami, you probably, because you have the exact same, because he has the photon, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I think you have the photon as well, right? So
yeah.
So I've got the Yellow Goo Mars. I love mine, but we've got different settings. The setting mappings are different. It's the resolution, I think, that he's kind of a little tweaking, and not many people understand that if you're going to print a flat piece, make sure you print it at an angle. Don't print it flat, because what'll happen is if you support it where it's completely flat, that the actual model, if it's a flat model, it will work. Always work. I don't understand why, but if you put it at a slight angle and you support it up a little bit, it will actually support straight, and your piece will stay straight. So that's something I had to learn the hard way. Yeah, I don't know, man. So let me ask you something, Tommy. With the mass introduction of the 3D printer, do you think that there's a point of no return? You think that there's people are just going to say, you know what, hell with GW, hell with miniatures in general, buying them, like crazy from Forge World? Is there a point of no return where the consumer just says, you know what, I just not going to do it. I've got 4 or 5, 3D printers going. I'll just print my whole whatever I want.
I mean, like we were talking towards the beginning, where we were talking like, do they make enough boxes or stuff? Like, I mean, when we were all kind of like, well, we're still kind of locked up with quarantine and all that. Right. When people could go out, hobby stores were like ghost towns of like stuff. Like you couldn't keep stuff on the shelves because people were just buying it, taking it home because they got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And now it's like you want to go to the store. Hey, Jimmy, I want to give you my money.
Right.
What do you mean? I can sit down at my desk right now, right here, pull up a file, print them right away. Hey, I need to print off a captain.
Yeah.
Captain, no, put it in the file. Boom. Go to bed. Wake up. Hey.
There, it's like Christmas in the morning. You know, it's like, hey, look, I got something
for like $1 worth of resin.
Yeah.
I've got my model now. Now we're getting there technology-wise where it's going to look pretty damn close.
Yep.
And there are some good copies out there where it's just like you could get sued quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but the thing is, you're not selling it. As long as you are not selling the product, as long as you're not getting some kind of monetary return, you can print whatever the hell you want, providing that you are not making a buck on that. You cannot sell intellectual property. You cannot actually. Now, the problem though also falls along with GW. Stores will not let you play non-GW sculpts. Or
depends. Some of them are like it has to be 100% GW. Some places, hey, if you have third party bits or pieces, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if it's at least more than 50% of the model,
right?
Want this, or if it's 75. But I understand why they do it because they want. If someone comes into that store and sees like a really cool, like you painted something or you got a really cool model, like, oh, hey, where did you get that? On that shelf right over there.
Yeah.
They don't. Like, well, I bought this box, but then I printed this model here, and that one actually. If you go to this website,
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what? That is a good point. Now, yeah, you're right. They're in the business of being in business. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's their prerogative. But kind of what James Meeks mentions that there are more and more businesses like that are non-GW, non-traditional. These are all the aftermarket, and they don't care. You want to bring your printed stuff? Play it. You want to buy the stuff that's there? It's there. The point of no return has me a little kind of, because I'm thinking, I'm starting to see more and more people. Like I got a buddy of mine who's got 3 or 4 of these things, and they're just churning resin, man. They're just popping this stuff out. I'm like, holy crap! You are now supplementing your entire army. You are doing everything on a cheap because, I mean, it's sort of on a cheap. Like you said, a bottle of resin is $20, but each print can roughly cost about $3 a print.
The software will tell you right off, like, hey, you put in the numbers. Hey, my resin costs this much. I have this much resin, and it'll go through like, well, you're going to use this much resin based on the information you put in. Right. It's going to cost 32 cents, or it's going to cost $1.40, kind of a thing, and it's going to take hours to print, kind of a thing. But like,
That's true.
But I mean, some of those are literally. I'm printing off some smoke-based bases right now. Well, I'm slicing them up, kind of a thing, and getting them ready. It's going to take me to do 2 of these bases. It's going to take me 2 hours and 44 minutes.
Right.
It's going to take me a little over 31 milliliters of my resin. So to replace those bases of those crappy flight bases, over my things, probably 40 cents.
Yeah, that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it'll still, and the quality will be better, and it looks better, than the little clear plastic, flight stands. Yep.
Or then you can get those cool fire gun effects where you can put off a flash of fire coming out of the muzzle of your gun.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. James Meek says, "Okay, guys, spending some time with my girl, my man. You have a good night." Brother Rob says, "Looks sexy, brother." Rob also says, "I want to Mono X print large things, but I hear it's complex to get into. The Mono X, not to Mono X. For the card you search says, I'd expect GW would start releasing their own stuff as 3D printer files and have less physical presence. That remains to be seen. If they get into the 3D print scene,
they might do some stuff, but they're never. I don't. It's while it would be cool for them to sell a license like that, it would just be way too. What if I'm running a business?
Right.
Am I going to give you the file a one-time? Why am I going to give you a one-time sell when I can get you to come back and buy more and more and more? You know, we call it plastic crack for a reason. They're not going to. They'll cut you a deal, but they want you to return.
Right. And that's okay. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, but you got to be competitive. You know, if you're going to sell an STL. You got to be competitive because you got, okay, I like that STL. That's cool. I'll buy that STL. Don't charge me double what I can get from Thingiverse, you know? Really? Let's see. Kaji Search says, I'd expect W would start releasing their own stuff. Okay. Brother Rob says, we'll trade 3D prints for back rubs. Hey, it's a great system. You want a 3D print? Get her back rub. Win-win, baby. Evan Pacheco. I found all Necron clones 3D and I printed them for personal play. That's what I'm talking about. You see, you know, everybody's looking for some alternative instead of spending a ton of money and putting into GW's pocket. They're actually investing into these 3D printers. And, you know, they're building their army. And so this is the point of no return that I'm thinking about, you know? This is what I was talking about.
They're also turning it into business adventures, too. Look on Etsy.
Oh, yeah.
Apple stuff on Etsy. Like, they're selling some better things than, like a big thing on Etsy right now that people, a lot of them are, like, D&D size models. Kind of a thing.
Right.
Like, and they're selling them for, like, really good quality for pretty cheap. Like, you go to your standard like local hobby store, a D&D figure is like what, $5 to $10 maybe, depending if you're gonna get like one of the prime ones, one of the painted ones. Some of the things on Etsy you can get them for like $2-3.
Yeah.
And at that point,
and they're pretty reasonable. Yeah.
There's one. I'm gonna have to show it to you too, Freak. There's a Dorn bust where it's Dorn, and you can they actually have options too. It's not like here's a Dorn bust. It's like, do you want Dorn bust with like the handlebar mustache from text to speech kind of a thing? Do you want Dorn like clean cut one? And like it's a giant size bust, and they want $30 for it, which hey, that's not outrageous.
No, I would pay that. I would pay that in a heartbeat. I have a Dorn sculpt that I got from GW, and I have not put it together. I don't. I'm very nervous. The reason why, no lie, okay. Grumpy guy actually painted a Dorn, and since I've seen it, I'm like, all right, that's it. He did it. Screw me, you know. Hell, there's no way I can compare to that. He did a gorgeous job too, man. Didn't have that derpy look either. Pirate Queen Pickle is looking around. Brother Rob says 3D prints, not for money, for small favors. Take out my trash. It's a librarian. Lupus Canis. Hey, my man. Good to see you, my friend. Lupus Canis. Hugs. It's Pirate Queen Pickle says it's past my bedtime. Now I think it's past all our bedtime, y'all. I'm actually feeling it too. And Brother Rob says the 3D printable terrain are amazing on Etsy. Yes, they are. And Brother Rob says, I would love a bust of Russ. There are so many, Rob. There are so many busts of Russ right now that are in STL files. I mean, you just have to find the one that you want and get it. You know, Brother Oni, my buddy from school, Steve from Oni Studios. Oh man, he's getting all these. All you have to do is find the right Patreon page, and they will sculpt a really cool, bust you can use. And you're like, holy crap! This looks like the embodiment of the actual Allfather, right? So it's just amazing how well they've done. These guys are just really, really great sculptors. They're great artists, and so I think this is the wave of the future. I think this is what's going to happen. Where, I don't know how GW will recover from the mass. I want to say production, but I'm not going to say that. It's mass supplementing of what's already out there, and they're slowly getting away from the GW lines. Brother Rob says, I need to find someone with a 3D printer. Yes, you do, Brother Rob. Lars, just now popping in. Been busy on Friday lately. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you, Brother Lars. I am, dude. I am alive. Breathing on my own, my man. I am not at the hospital. The tube down my throat. Thank goodness. I'm super, super happy about that. Glad you were able to make it, man. With the Kaiju Short says, I thought Bust of Russ was the name of the Methos' latest routine. At Chippendales, yeah. The only problem is that they tend to throw more rolls of quarters when he does that. Not pretty. That's why we use hockey masks now. Hobby Quarter Kev was supposed to go to sleep hours ago. What is wrong with you, man? But whoops. Hello anyways, LOL. Good to have you, Hob. Thank you so much, Kev. Glad you're doing better, mate. Thank you so much. Methos had been reaching out to me, and he's been telling me that you've been asking about me. Thank you so much. I am so much better, feeling better. I am tired. I've been getting tired more, but because it's just what this illness has done, taken away from you. But every day I get stronger, and every day I feel better. So super, super happy. I'm so glad to be here, guys. So glad to have this discussion. Glad to have Commodore over here and hanging out with us. It's already 10:30, guys. We're gonna go maybe just a few more minutes, and then we're gonna call it. I can only go so far, but so let me just ask you guys, especially you, Tommy. These printers are getting bigger. They're getting larger. They're getting faster. I saw James. James picked up a nice printer, and he got the curing box as well.
Yep.
I think that's pretty cool. I think I want to invest in that. So as these things are getting bigger, and they're getting massive, they're getting bigger and better. Do you think we're going to see backslash from any kind of backlash from GW somehow, or do you think they're going to move to a different venue? Because one of the things that Rob even mentioned is that they're moving more into the animation. They're funding animation now. So I guess to get the interest back from the community, but if they've lost the community,
they're gonna have to do something.
Yeah.
If you don't change with the times, you are going to die. You're going to become the dinosaur. Like a perfect example along this. I was watching Netflix, and they had a documentary called "The Last Blockbuster." Now, I think our audience is a little bit older. We can remember Blockbuster. I can remember going
as a kid,
and like that was a cool thing. It was cool to go out there and like go to the store, get the newest release, get a bucket of popcorn and a soda, come home, and then Netflix came out.
Yeah,
and then people were, hey, whoa! I don't have to go to Blockbuster. I don't have to get my car. I don't have to drive. I can make my own popcorn. I don't have to pay a late fee anymore. Oh, sign me up. And Blockbuster were like, well, people are going to want to keep coming to Blockbuster.
Right.
And Netflix is like, do you want to buy us out, man? No, we're good. We're going to stay in business this way. Yeah. And now Blockbuster is on Netflix as a documentary. So I mean, like, if you are a business, you have to adapt to the times and technology. Right. That's, like they were saying, like, this is why they're branching off and going, GW is going to get in the thing of selling its IP.
Yeah.
But not models.
Right.
kind of they're going to come up with the video games, the books, the TV shows, everything to bring you back to that plastic crack.
But now what you're saying is that there's a good chance though that you might get them in an interest on the entertainment because they got the books, we got Black Library, we got now they're going to the animation, but the problem is that the market's being saturated with printed models, and how are you going to recover from that? Brother Rob said, "I'd rather have no animation and better prices." That's the sentiment.
Yeah.
That's the sentiment. I agree because you can actually, instead of you bringing them onto your, just hire the company, let them do what they do well, and let them represent you, while you're still, pushing, the community. You're pushing the models. You're trying to get better prices. Get these models in people's hands instead of saying, yes, we've got so many box sets, but you won't be able to get them when you order them.
But here's the thing too. Now we've noticed the models coming out lately have been some of the best models they've put out in years.
Unbelievable.
Awesome, look great.
Yep.
All that detail and all that, models, like little spindly bits and all that, or
right.
That's all to kind of fight these 3D printers too. Because as good as a 3D printer is, really tight, small detail, or anything that's like thin or like techless, hanging off, is the wing of a sphinx, like its pinky toe. A 3D printer ain't gonna be able to get that right. Or like those thin spears that the luminous elves have.
Yeah, they do have. They do
that,
have.
But,
yep. I saw a bunch of stuff that came out of our AOS last week, man. I'm like, oh my gosh, the announcement they had on that Saturday, man, they had so much cool. The elves, oh my, dude, I was sitting there thinking, you gotta be kidding me, this looks so damn amazing. Man, they had some gorgeous sculpts. But again, it's the availability. Are they able to get these models in people's hands, in the community's hands, or are they only gearing it to certain market areas? Brother Rob says, I loved Blockbuster, and he says, so true, Commander. Kaiju Short says, I don't need to rewind my tape before returning them anymore. Right?
That's true.
Yep. Brother Lars says, I remember $5 for one night of VHS rentals. Yeah, that was a thing. Miniature Paintbrush says, be kind, Kaiju Shorts, and rewind. Oh man, I remember that. That was a highlight of my when I was a kid. My mom and dad would take us Blockbusters. Yeah, remember they had that huge popcorn machine, and you would not leave out of there without getting the movie and a bag of popcorn. That was just so cool. Oh, and you get the Smarties, right? You have the candy aisle too. You're like, Dad, I want the Smarties, So you go with all this candy, you got your movie, and it was a neat time because you went out with your family, you get to pick out the movie, you get to go home, put that goofy VHS tape, watch the lines go across the TV, like, all right. It's like, all right, we're gonna watch this cool movie. And it was so big. It was such a thing. And like you said, when Netflix came around and they started to add a whole different type of innovation. You're right. The times changed. The technology changed. And Blockbuster could not keep up.
The moment 3D printing becomes more convenient, and it already kind of is.
Yeah.
Then going to your local store is when you're going to start seeing that shift.
Yeah.
And then once you cannot tell the difference between a 3D printed model and one of GW's models,
right?
That's going to be GW's going to have to make some hard choices quick, fast, and hurry, or else their lawyers are going to be busy 24/7.
Yeah. But you know what though? When they start doing that, it becomes a witch hunt. And here's the thing, that never goes well with the consumer. Has never gone well. I don't care who you are. Yeah, you can fight for your IP. I get it. You can fight for your IPA, but the problem is that the moment you start attacking the very consumers, the very people that have been breading your butter, there's like, all right, then we won't have anything to do with you. We will find a alternative and we'll start looking elsewhere. And I think that's exactly where this is heading to. That's what I'm thinking. That's why they haven't done anything.
They're star soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're completely right, man.
Brother Rob says the GW models are stunning. One day, 3D printing is going to catch up to that level of detail one day. I believe it's pretty close. Like I said, I printed some of these Outriders, and they look pretty damn good compared to them. But Lars says also AOS stuff continues to look good. I don't have the time to build it at all. I'm actually considering getting some of those AOS. Those look so amazing. Those sculpts are beautiful. Again, they attract me. I like that. That's eye candy. And I would love to paint it and maybe even play it. But again, cost effective. Well, I'll be able to get them when I want. You know, those are the main kickers. Kaiju says, aha, you wonder why the tapes look so damaged and worn around the topless scenes. Wrong movies, Kaiju. Vintage Paper says, the gourmet lollipops and blockbusters was the bomb.com.
Freak. There's some old blockbuster back in time in Australia. Kaiju's walking in. This is your third time running Basic Instinct this week. I just really like this movie.
I like it a lot. You realize that it doesn't play anymore.
The ending doesn't play. Watch the ending.
You know how they put the little strip of tape on it, just gotta keep it together. Oh my god. Oh man. Brother Rob says, you should see my home videos of me topless. Then again, you might burn your eyes out. Yeah, we already have an issue with that with our Chippendales act, you know, and like I said, people don't throw rolls of quarter at us because they want to tip us. They want to actually to injure us. So, but we're not quitters, darn it. Oh my gosh. Brother Kaiju says, haha, I watch it for the stories. Story, singular. Just tell me how much it is. Oh my gosh. Well, guys, I'm going to start wrapping it up here. Like I said, I need to get some rest, and I wanted to get a good time to spend with y'all. And again, I want from my bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the well wishes. I know it definitely pulls on a channel when one of us is not here, you know. And I do miss my brother Methos. You know, when we are here together, you know, we have a special dynamic. He's my brother, and then he's like, you know, we have something that we bring collectively. But, you know, thank goodness for guys like Kami, and that he comes there and can sit in and keep me company and help me with the discussions, with the chat. But most of all, guys, thank you so much for the well wishes, for thinking about me. It really meant a lot to know that, you know, you got friends in the community that are pulling for you, even though you don't see them all the time. You don't know my personal life, but I feel like you know enough about me that at least you're like, hey, there's Freak missing. Hey, we're rooting for you, man. Hang in there, get better. And for that, I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. Both Ethos and I do appreciate that, because you guys do that for both of us. And it does make a difference. It makes me want to come back. It makes me want to do this. It makes the love for the show even more real. And you get perspective, especially when you're trying not to die for 3 weeks. You get a better perspective on life. You know, you think more. You know, start thinking positive. Start thinking more of stuff that you should be grateful for and happy for, versus the stuff that you don't have, that you're not happy with. You know, it's all about perspective, right, guys? So again, thank you so much, and Commodore, thank you so much for coming and hang out with me, man.
Wouldn't miss it for the world, man.
It really, yeah, dude, it means a lot. Brother Rob says, I had fun, brother. Good times. Welcome back. It was great hanging out with you two. It really was. Thanks so much, man, for coming by. And be careful not to step on any more ducks. Much love, brothers. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this or if you're catching this in the archive, give us a like. If you liked it, give it a like. And don't forget to hit that little bell so you can get notifications every time we pull out one of these silly things. And then don't forget, if you're not subscribed to the channel, Wolf Brother Methos, myself, and even Brother Commodore, coming in from high orbit, from Phalanx, would love to have you here as part of the pack, the Frost and Fist. And guys, we love you so much. Thank you for being you and for hanging out. Thank you for all your Patreons as well, all you supporters who've kind of helped us out as well. We can't do it without you. So again, guys, thank you so much, and we'll catch you later. And hopefully we'll see you all next Friday with the Wolf Brother, okay? Take care, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, get up on your feet. Back by popular demand. Please welcome back to the Chippendale stage in nothing but a bow tie and a banana hammock. It is the return of